Hello and welcome, it's Connie Ray. Thank you for joining me for today's craft share. Today's tutorial is going to be these gorgeous little, I call them triangle lollibombs. I don't know why, but they're just like these little cute party favors. You can put these on the table as thank you gifts. You can put little messages on the inside because they open up like that. There is so many options for these. They're just amazing. I love them. To give you a scope of the size, I have got a lint ball here. Yum, yum. Not many of those left, I can assure you. The pack seems to be declining. And you can squeeze that down and look, it holds a lint ball. So that's the size of them. And they're so cute. And this little tab here is, there's two things that you can do with the tab, is you can use both sides of the tab. So on this one, I've got this is the day. I'll bring that up closer for you. This one is stamped and it says this is the day, and you can put the date there. And on this side, you've got the celebrate and you've got the cake. So you can stamp that on there, or you can just do one side like that and have the bling on the other side, on the foil frenzy on the other side, so you can have the cake and the celebrate. This stamp set are really fabulous because they are so small and they fit in a bundle. They go together in a bundle, and the bundle is this one here, which is, that's the punch, and this is the tabs for everything, and they're so small that they fit into, let me just bring that in for you. Whoop. Tabs for everything, the stamp set is called. Let me just, sorry, my lighting system isn't the best in the world. Okay, there we go. I'll bring my finger in to focus on, and yep, it worked before, but it's not working now. But anyway, it's called Tabs for Everything, and we are going to be using the date sentiment there. We are going to be using the little cake sentiment, which is there. Oh, let me just, yep, the little cake. Yep. And we are going to be using celebrate, which is this word here. Let me see if I can just, doesn't really want to do it. I'm not very good at these kind of things, but I'm getting there, you know. Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. There we go. Tabs for everything. And I'm not, I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. All right, so that's the stamp set, tabs for everything. And it goes into this little, when you punch out the tab, it's that big. It's so cute. So you can, as you can see here, you can, there we go, put the little cake on, and you can put the word on that you want. And on the other side, you can do, this is the day and the date. So if you want to do maybe a birth announcement, you could stick that on there and just put in there a copy of an ultrasound and stick it there and just leave it. And that'd be a really lovely surprise, wouldn't it? So the potential for this and this, and the options and the crafting options that this gives you is huge. I love this set. So I'll show you how I put it together, and I hope you enjoy it because it was really a lot of fun coming together. I really enjoyed it. All right, so your instructions. What you're going to need, I've used Foil Frenzy, obviously. You are going to need a piece of cardstock which measures 5 3/4 in cross and 5 1/2 in width. And we are going to do some scoring, not much, but we are going to do some scoring. So I have already cut my piece of paper, so I'm going to bring my scoreboard up, and on the longest side, on the 5 3/4 side, we are going to score at, I'm just going to bring you out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Yep. There we go. Going to score at 1/2 inch, 2 7/8, and 5 1/4 on the longest side. Then we're just going to turn it around, and what we're going to do is just go up to the lines. So what I mean by that is, here's a draft that I've done. So we have just put in these 3 lines here, right, on the longest side. I've turned it around, and what I want to do is put a notch down to this first line here on that side, and turn it around and do a notch down to that line on that side. So I'll show you how to do that. And that's done at 5 3/4. No, it's not. It's at 2 3/4. I apologize. So you go to 2 3/4 and just notch down to the line. And then you turn it around and on the opposite side, 2 3/4 again. And that's it. And that's in terms of the scoreboard. That's all you need. So keeping your paper there, your paper now has got these 3 lines, and you've also got your little notch here and your notch here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is that little notch that we've put in. I know you can't see it, but what you're going to do now is to get your ruler, and from this notch here that we've just put in, let me bring you in closer. I just want to make it easy for you to understand. Okay, so at this little notch here, which we've just put in, we're going to put a ruler just there, and we're going to score with our stylus, or whatever you use, whatever's easiest, and we're going to go all the way down to the opposite side and do one big long line all the way down. And we're going to do that 4 times, and I'll show you how that works using those notches that we put in. So here's my notch here. I know you can't see it, but it's there. So you start there, and we're going down to the other line. Don't go past the line on the bottom, just go up to the end of it. And if you need to do it a couple of times on the crafts card, this is quite sturdy. Actually, it's very sturdy. If you're using designer series paper, it'll work just as well, but you won't have to press as hard. So if that's an option for you, depends what your theme is. And again, on the opposite side, we're doing exactly the same thing. We're going from that notch right down to the line on the bottom of our cardstock, or our designer series paper in this instance. And then we're turning it around on the opposite side, and we're going up to the notch that we put in the opposite side, and we're going to do exactly the same. We're going down to the line on the bottom of the actual designer series paper. Like I said, just make it obvious enough for you to cut. And again on the other side. So once you've done a few of them, it's really not hard. Okay, so now you should have a piece that looks like this. So we've put our lines on the sides here and a line on that side from the notch there, and we've turned it around, and we've done from this notch here down to that one, and from this notch, same notch, down to the other side. So basically your piece of paper should look like this. You've got all these triangles, and you've got 2 large triangles on the side. So as you can see from here, the first thing we're going to do is cut away this triangle here and this triangle here. And I'll show you that. Hopefully you can see. I might just zoom out a bit. There we go. So we're just going to notch up to that, take out the larger triangle. That's one. And on the opposite side, we're going to do exactly the same. This design was actually this idea came from someone else, and I'm going to include that in the link, as you should, and I'll include that in the description box down below on the lady that I actually saw this project being made years ago. But it was really something that's really worth doing and revamping. It's just fun. Okay, so we've got a piece that looks like that now, which is basically these 2 sides removed from our template. So we've taken those out. So now we're going to remove the 2 tabs up to the score notch that we put in. We're going to take those 2 tabs out. So we've got this piece here, and we're going to take this tab and the opposite tab. We're going to cut them out completely. So we're just going to, I don't know if you can see it, cut all the way up and take it out. And the same on the other side, all the way up and chop it That's it. All right, so that's done. So now you've got a funny looking piece like this, okay, which should have those removed, and there's your piece there. Yes, that's right. Sorry, I got myself confused then. So that's what your piece currently looks like. So now we are going to go to this little tab here, which is here, this tab here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take out a little square from the top like that, and then we're going to notch on the sides to make a flap that seals together so that we can hold our project together. So we're just going to take out a little square, chop it off, just like that. And then we are going to just do a little bit of an indentation just to create the flap on that side and on the opposite side. So we have now got a little tab that we will fold over. Let me show you. There we go. So we've got this little tab that we're going to use to stick our project together. And we're going to do the same on this side. Create another little tab. But on this one, we aren't going to take off a little square that we've done here. We're just going to go straight down and notch straight off. So it will look a little bit funny. It will look like that, which is fine. That's how we want it to look. And then we're just going to notch this side as well. Yep. And then we have got a funny looking template that looks like that. And if you've got a funny looking template that looks like that, you're on the right track. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to score and burnish our lines. And this cardstock, it's designer, specialty designer series paper, and it's very strong. It's great for this project because it will hold your goodies together. But even the designer series paper, normal designer series paper, I have done a few templates using other designer series paper with it, and it just works beautifully. So it doesn't really matter, but this one's really strong. So if you think they're going to be, you know, you're going to need a strong one because of what you're putting in it, by all means use this one. It's great. Or even cardstock. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you wish. It all works. All right. So now we've got this gorgeous, lovely Fall Frenzy on one side, and we've got this funny looking shape on there. Now I've burnished all of our lines. So what we need to do now is we need to, on this side of our tab, we need to just fold over the flap. We need to turn it this way, facing us, and we need to get our corner rounder. I'm just going to trim that bit off a bit. I've got that straight. Get our corner rounder, and we are going to pop it in just up to the corner of the box, and we're going to round the corner. We're not going to go in too far because at the end of the day we want it to be round. Okay, we don't want it to be pointy. And we're going to do that on the same side. So we've done the top one. We're going to move down to the bottom one. Oops, sorry. Down to the bottom point. And we're going to do that one as well. And we're going to round that off. And those two edges are going to come together to slide into the box. And they are going to look like this one. When they come together, those two edges are going to be rounded like that. And then we're going to have two pointy edges. So we've got the round edges and the pointy edges, and they just slip in together like that. So on the same side that we've done the first corner, we're going to do exactly the same thing on the second corner, on the same side. And so you've got this lovely round point again. Okay, and that is basically the cutting of our gorgeous little triangle. Okay, for this project, depending what you're going to put in it, you can use fast fuse or whatever, but for this one I'm going to use my tape so I know that it will stick. My tearing tape, or you can use glue, depends, but you don't want to get it too wet with the glue because it will look funny, it will warp if you're not careful. So you don't need a lot of glue if you are using glue. Okay, so just going to rub that a bit just to make sure it comes off. And what we're doing is we're bringing those two rounded edges together. keeping them nice and straight and in a point format so that they're both even like that. And it looks, at the moment, it looks like a little party hat or something. Okay, and on this side, we're going to bring the 2 points together. I like giving it a bit of a rub on the actual sticky tape, on the tear-in tape, because it helps come off. And then we're going to bring those 2 points together like so, keeping them straight, and voila. And look at that. You have this gorgeous little triangle that goes together like so. Isn't that awesome? Cute, huh? Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is we want to do a bit of stamping. Now, I've already done some, but I will do it for the purposes of this demonstration. Now, there's 2 things that I wanted to point out. You can do, I'm not sure if I did point it out before, you can use both of these tabs punched out. So what you can do is you can get your designer series paper and you can punch out your tab that you're going to use like so. Very easy. And you can either fold it after you've stamped it, and we'll stamp it in a second, and use both sides to put your message on, your sentiment, whatever it is, or you can just do the one side like I've done. I've just cut it and rounded it off, and trying to trick myself to see if it'll focus and get my finger in the way. No, it hates me. All right. Basically, you can use one side or you can use both sides for your sentiment. On this one, I use both. Depends on your announcement and what it's for. Wedding favors, celebrate, whatever. Okay, so to do this, like I said, I've already prepped it and I have already done it, but that's okay. I will show you exactly. And I've lined up my little, I forgot my ink. My memento. They're really easy to line up too because they're all designed to fit into this little tab. So that's even better. You don't have to do anything other than stamp, which is super. Love it. And they're so little. They're so cute. All right, I'm just going to put the date sentiment. Now, when you go to put it in, just leave a little bit like I have done here on the edge, just along there on both sides, because what we want to do, see how I've left a little bit there on the edge, because what we want to do is we want to slide it, glue it into there. So you want a little bit of an edge just so you can glue it in like that. And we're going to, and you can see it on both sides. So just leave a little bit of edge on your stamping before you stamp it in. Oh, just stuck my finger in. Oh, fingers and thumbs. Okay, so I'm going to put the date. See, there's a little date. So if you wanted to, you could write the date, which is the 14th of September here in Australia. It's the 14th of September. So we can write the 14th of the 9th, 2017. See, isn't that cute? Me and my focusing. One day, I'll get that video camera. Okay, but not today. All right, and then here I'll put, this is the day. So if you're going to do a birth announcement, that'd be really good, or a baby shower, if you know what your expected date is or something like that, or the wedding, or a wedding, I should say. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Oh, gosh, why? There we go. Oh, there we go. This is the day. Okay. Try again. No. Okay. I'll get it. I'll get it one day. And then we're going to put the little cake just to indicate that we're celebrating something in the middle on the other side. And then the word celebrate down the bottom. And just up a little bit so that when we do pop it into the little, stick it down on our tab, it's going to actually fit, which is something we want it to do. So over here, get that out of the way. We're going to pop some glue on the edge, just enough to make sure it stays in place. If you wanted to use fast fuse, you could use fast fuse, you could use probably Tombow. You don't want to get it too wet, but you want to give it enough to make it stick. Oop, I'm out of shot there. Sorry, guys. I'm pretty sure that is not working. Come on. Okay, we'll try another ball. One side's sticking down and the other side's not, but that's okay. We're getting there. Yay, we've got some. Okay, just a nice, small, tiny trim of glue. You don't need much at all. Okay, and then we are going to pop it into, if I can just find my part there, into the opening. And we're going to just slide it in. You'll find that it will slide in where we've put the sticky the tear and tape. If you just work it in there like that, and you can put it obviously wherever you want really. I had the other ones at the top, so this one I'm just putting into that part there. Isn't that adorable? I love them. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. Oh, now I've taken it out. Silly me. That's okay. Plenty of glue. Just got to give it a few minutes to dry, that's all. I'll let that just grab a bit while I put these in. So this brings me to the end of my tutorial. And it is a lovely fun one, I have to say. I really enjoyed this one. I like doing things like this because they're just so much fun. And they look really cute. And can't you see all of these lined up on people's tables as party favors and or Christmas or even nameplates. You could put people's names, like you could put a name there and put something in it. You could use these for anything. They are just great. And this particular set of stamps is super for this kind of thing because they're so small, they fit into the tabs. And that just makes them just invaluable. Just so easy to use and to stick like that on a party favor. So I'm hoping you really like this and you go ahead and give it a try because it is a lot of fun and it solves all your party favor worries. So coming up Christmas, I should imagine there should be a few of these floating around in some gorgeous Christmas paper, perhaps designer series paper. I do love the frenzied foil though because that sort of like gives a lot of blingy kind of feel to it, festive-y kind of things. They're like little tiny party hats. Party hats for the cats. Okay, well, so as I said, this brings me to the end of my tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed the project and I will see you next time. Please like, share, subscribe, and take care until next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.